Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late November 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Saggies at the very early stages of Sagittarius season? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in late November. And while we get this card out, I just want to wish you all a very happy birthday from me to you, since it is Sagittarius season. So whether your birthday is a couple days away or a couple weeks away, I really hope you have a great one. Okay, so we have a bit of a complex card here to go along with your happy birthday message. And this is very similar to what I've been seeing in fire signs, where I start the reading with what seems to be a very simple card, but there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers to this onion. And that could present the energy in a lot of different ways. Say with the cat, the chessboard, the queen that's red, the cage, the butterflies. So there's like a lot going on here, and they all mean different things. So you might just have a lot on your plate, a lot on your mind. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. And while you're down there, you could hit the new hype button. I'm not sure what it does, but it would make me smile, my friends. But enough of the promo. Let's get into the reading. Looking down here at this card, the thing that always takes up my focus initially is the chessboard with the queen. And she does seem a little surrounded, but to me, this is a huge card of strategy. That's the biggest piece of symbolism that shows up to me. So for some Saggies, maybe there's something that you're approaching in a very structured way. Maybe Spirit wants you to plan something out step by step, or stick to the plan, stick to the structure. Structure is good. I know sometimes structure is boring, but this one says that it's really good. So keep that in mind. So whether that's you needing to plan something, someone else being in strategy mode, that could simply be it. But as I was mentioning, there's like a complexity to this. So this wouldn't surprise me if there's a lot of situations you're dealing with that seem very simple, but there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more complexity. Like someone from the outside looking in would not understand. That's the vibe I'm picking up here. Just make sure you're not getting overwhelmed with stuff too, because this to me feels like a card that has a lot on its mind or a lot on its plate. So watch out for scattered energy. But we're just going to let her chill out over there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time and see what we got for Saggy in early Saggy season, late November. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was simply titled An Unexpected Talk. So for a lot of you, whether it's talking to someone you haven't talked to in a while, speaking about things you weren't expecting to speak about, like conversations that pop in out of the blue, that could bleed over for a couple weeks, because that's kind of how it felt to me, where it's like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting to talk to you, or wasn't expecting to talk about this. So communication was huge last week. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Saggy in late November. Let's get them out, please. Okay, cool. 6 of Swords. I like it. I like it in the first position specifically because it's a big card of improvement. A big travel card as well, distance. We're going to see what's up with that. As with all cards, there's positive and challenge, but I'm liking that initially. Okay. Death card in the center. Don't get nervous about that. I also saw that in the Aries reading in the exact same place. Let's get one more out here for you, Saggy. What do we got? So big energy of shift and change. Okay. And more of this karmic energy showing up as well with the beautiful Wheel of Fortune right here on the back end. And for good measure, you did also get a bonus. We got our little pal here, the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, there's some things we need to tie up here. That's how it feels to me. So watch out for unfinished business. I'm already picking that up. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, we have a nice mixture of elements going on here. Yeah, I would say we probably have about one of each. That's how it feels to me. And I like to look at the elements. It tells me like areas of life that could be important or how the energy is moving. We start here with air with the Six of Swords. That's the realm of logic, planning, strategy, just like we saw with that very first card, very structured. It's about the mindset, the mind state. It's very pragmatic in its approach. It's also a communication element as well. So it's an energy that moves quick and an energy that moves fast. Then we have water, the realm of feelings and emotions, how we feel about things. We have stuff pulling at our heartstrings when the water is here. It's very creative, it's very expressive. So I like the water element. This is all internal energy right there. Back here with the Wheel of Fortune, that's mixed. So as far as elements go, I link it to Jupiter, which is one of your ruling planets. So I think this is a good card for you. And then we have the Earth, which represents the world we live in. So think of material things, work, business, home, family, all that stuff. So we have a nice mixture of stuff here. We could be seeing a lot, but let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we are starting with the Six of Swords. Now, as you can see, we have these individuals. They're sitting in a boat and they're coming out of choppy waters into calm. So things going from bad to better. So I love this for problem resolution. I love this for energetic improvement. It's an energy that's moving forward in a very positive way. As I mentioned, this is also a card of travel and distance. So maybe some of you are dealing with situations like that. But to me, I think of this as improvement. I think of this as action, whether it's actions we take or actions other people are taking, especially in the first position. It's like, okay, we're starting off here. We're getting the ball rolling, which I think is nice. Now, the downside to the Six of Swords, it could be an energy that runs from things as well. So keep that in mind. There might be certain people that are acting in a flight response where it's like, they're very slippery. But I'm not saying that in a demeaning type of way. Like this energy is very quick to run or bolt. So just watch out for that in this time. Sometimes the Six of Swords, in its roughest case, can represent somebody giving up on something or abandoning it. But as I mentioned, to me, it feels good in the first position. To me, it's like, all right, let's start this off right, or let's get the ball rolling. Now, moving to the middle, we get here with a really, really intense energy. And I could say that about both of these cards. They're both extremely, extremely intense. We have the Death card. Now, don't get nervous about this. It's Scorpio energy, so maybe you have Scorpio placements. Maybe you're connected to Scorpio. I always say about the Death card, it doesn't always just represent endings. Now, can it? Sure. It can represent the close of a cycle, the end of something. Absolutely. But to me, this is more important in the change that it represents. When I see this card, I think of transformation. I think of metamorphosis. I think of a phoenix rising from the ashes, like rekindling something. So this can be a very good card. It's also highly karmic. So it could speak about karmic lessons, karmic situations, karmic connections, you name it. So we'll want to look into this further. One thing about the Death card, it can represent situations that are just out of our hands. So maybe some of you are dealing with some things where it's like, all right, well, whatever will be, will be. That's kind of the vibe the Death card holds to me, aside from the shift, the change. Moving to the back end, though, we have similarities, but this one is totally different vibe. We got the Wheel of Fortune, my friends. So again, Jupiter energy. When I see this, it's expansive, it's beautiful. It's my four-leaf clover of the tarot deck. So when I see this, it's a good luck charm. I think this is a great energy. So it could be telling us, hey, the direction you're moving in could be a good one, or the path you're on could be the right one. Aside from that, beautiful good luck, win, victory, blessing type of energy, because it can represent all that. It can also be karmic. It can represent cycles of life. So interesting, we have the Six of Swords, death into the wheel. So lots of karmic energy shifting through the Sagittarius collective in this time. Now, another thing I always like to say about the wheel, especially when we get to the rougher side of it, it is very fast. It is very sudden. It's not a slow mover like the World card. So it's an energy that, boom, it kicks into gear. It kicks into motion really fast. So we want to see, is it a sudden change? Is it a fast one? Is it even explosive potentially? We'll see what's up with it. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm cautiously optimistic about what we have so far, Saggy. Now moving to your bonus slot real quick, we got the Page of Pentacles. This does tie into that vibe I was picking up last week. This could be an earth sign you're connected to. So Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. If that's not the case, they could represent youth. They could represent children. The Page of Pentacles is a great student. So it's great for any new task, learning new information, new positions, new anything. I like this page. But the biggest thing is the communication, right? He's always delivering a message. So whether it's a message coming your way, a message you're wanting to give, communication still has a sliver of importance here. And he is showing up in the balance. But I do think I like it. I do think I like it. So we're just going to place him down right there for now, Saggy. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot because, as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Six of Swords. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to get to Saggy, could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is Six of Swords here? Quick. And the same thing I was picking up in the Leo reading, and I've seen this for you before as well. So this shows up in two very specific ways to me. So we have the Fool in reverse underneath the Six of Swords. Now, for some of you, this could represent an energy that is returning in some sort of way where it's like, okay, haven't talked to you in a while, hi, how are you? It just, or a situation, it pops back up, it's like, here we go again. But another thing I'm getting, aside from the potential returning energy, when I see the Fool in reverse under the Six of Swords, it could be a very it could be an energy that goes off the rails quickly. It could be very spontaneous. So again, watch the urges in this time because you might get bored with something. So you know what, screw it, let me do this. Or you know, I was going to do this, let me do that instead. I need to shake something up. Now, there's nothing wrong with spontaneity. There's nothing wrong about coloring outside of the lines or not always following the plan. But it's just a matter of how much, right? Like all in due bounds. Because the Fool in reverse under the Six of Swords, it's like I'm acting before I'm thinking. So it's super spontaneous. Do I want to call it a warning? Not necessarily, because for some of you, this could actually be a really good thing. Think on the fly, or you get an urge and you follow that urge, inspired action and all that. For some of you, this could be really great. It's action one way or another, whether it's planned or whether it's not. So that's the energy I'm picking up here. We're going to keep moving and see what the Death card and the Wheel have, because this energy is action packed. That's one thing I could tell you, Sagittarius. Like from front to back, it's action packed, and I know that was a nice rhyme. Let's keep moving over to the Death card. Let's see why that's here. So yeah, watch the impulses in this time. Could be stronger than they usually are. Very spontaneous and returns too. But let's see why Death is in the mix. Why is Death here for the Saggies, please, guys? Why is it here? Thank you. Cool. Protection. Protection. So we do have your power card in the upright underneath this Death card. This is really fantastic for spiritual protection. So some of you might just need to hear that from Spirit, like, hey, we are with you, Sagitt. We are watching over you. Now, aside from this being one of your power cards, I always point out it has Archangel Michael, the Defender, on it, which is really beautiful. But aside from that, we have to speak about the intense change, the intense transformation, whether you realize it or whether you don't. And I always say this, life is perpetual change. Things are always shifting, things are always moving, but at certain times, things are shifting more intensely, even if it's under the surface and we don't quite see it. So when I see the Death card with Temperance in the upright, powerful, massive energy of change that's building up. That's how it feels to me. So again, you could be turning over a brand new leaf, my friends. I think it's good. I think this energetic shift, this energetic change feels good. I really want to get to that wheel though, because I think that's what's super important. But you do also have this powerful, energetic, spiritual protection, which I love for you. Let's keep moving to the wheel. So maybe you could afford to be a little spontaneous now that I think about it. Like now that I look at this spontaneous energy and we have this, it's like, all right, well, maybe you can afford to gamble. The energy does feel a little risky to me, but I also feel a sense of protection as well. Let's keep moving over to the wheel. Yeah, maybe you can be bold, or maybe you can be daring or risky. Like that's just how it feels. But let's see why the wheel is here. You have an edge to your energy in this time, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate it. You know, I'm a fire sign. Let's see. Okay. So we have the Knight of Swords in reverse underneath this Wheel of Fortune. And it is mirroring what we have here in the front. So I do feel, I don't want to call it a warning because I feel for some of you could actually be good. There's this risky type of energy here where it's like, no, I'm good. Doesn't matter. I'm protected. I'm perfect. I could do whatever I want. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way. The energy just feels like it's a risk taker. It feels a bit of a daredevil. And again, maybe it's somebody else, maybe it's not you, but this energy is throwing caution to the wind or is willing to. Now, the Knight of Swords, usually in the upright, it's in a rush. It's fast, 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 very aggressive, nonstop, nonstop. When it's in reverse, it does try to slow it down, but underneath this Wheel of Fortune, I don't feel like this is a stoppage of something. I don't feel like this is something stopping in its tracks. Again, it does feel very risky. So, a big risk. So, whether you're feeling like gambling or you take a risk or you walk out on a ledge, metaphorically, like that's how it feels. Someone's a daredevil in this time. Someone is willing to step outside the lines. And that could be great for some of you. But for some of you, I'm not sure. I guess it really depends on your situation and what you're dealing with here. But the energy is also on that loop. Like just like here in the front, just like here, whether it's like a karmic return, a karmic reliving of something, like that's just how it feels to me. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, so intriguing mixture of stuff. There is an edge to the energy. There is a gamble to it as well. But if you look here in the box, position number one, we have the Six of Swords with the Fool in reverse. Let's throw caution to the wind here. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to take a risk. That's the best way to put it. Now, for some of you, we do see it here, front and back, that returning energy. So there could be various things, situations where it's like, oh, I'm kind of reliving it again, like a karmic return of sorts. But moving to the middle, we have death and your power card. So there is the temperance, tons of spiritual protection, tons of spiritual insulation, which I really love. So maybe you can afford to be a little risky in this time. Okay, I mean, do what you will, right? Take your own advice. But the energy to me feels protected either way. But there is also this powerful, powerful change and metamorphosis underway. Moving to the back end, we have the Wheel of Fortune with the Knight of Swords in reverse. Someone taking a big risk, someone trying their luck. That's just how it feels. And it shows up all over the place. So, again, watch the temptation, watch the spontaneity. Nothing wrong with it, just don't overdo it. And again, it could be somebody else. If this is someone else, their energy feels like a bit of a live wire. Like I'm untouchable. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Saggies. What's happening for my good friends? And yes, this is where I like to pull you one shadow card, which I always like to do just to see whether it's something within you, something you don't quite see. And shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Saggy? Thank you. Cool. All right, Ten of Pentacles. That's it. I mean, even in the shadows, this is a really good card. I'm going to give you the shadow side of it. Now, I will give you the positive, too. The Ten of Pentacles is one of the best cards in the deck. Solid, stable, expansion type of energy, similar to that Wheel of Fortune. So for a lot of you, there could be something great coming in for you. Maybe a risk might be a good thing with their like going out on a limb or stepping outside of the lines. That might pay off when we see this card here. But the downside of the Ten of Pentacles is that it is very slow, very earthy. And for some of you, it might make you feel stuck. Okay, so if that's the reason for all this risky energy, boredom, feeling stuck, monotony, like that's what this card in the shadows could represent. So watch out for the flight responses because that's showing up here even in the shadows. But aside from that, I think you got some great stuff coming in, Saggy. So we're going to put it right there. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and you'd like to have a little chat with me, you can book a personal reading with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. You'll see my digital calendar is open for the month of November. They're filling up pretty quick, so if you'd like to have a chat, come over and see me. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of a lovely deck. It's fairly new. It's called Tarot of the Woodland Wardens. It has a whole bunch of fluffy critters. It's really adorable. I think everyone would like it. So if you like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, since it is November, what are you most grateful for right now? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.